got a handful of our media. We're going to get started with a question from Ryan Aber, and then we'll go to Jason Kersey.
Yeah, David, just looking at the numbers, y'all have drawn a lot of penalties from other teams this year. I think one of the top 10 in the country at that. How much of that do you feel like is something about what y'all do, get under the skin of opponents, things like that, and how much of it's just random?
I think it has everything to do with how much we get the offensive line thinking, especially with how much stunts and how much movement our D line does pre and post snap. Like it doesn't give the offense a chance to, pick up on what's going to happen before the play. So with just all that antsiness, it calls for them to jump off sides when the game gets heated.
Appreciate it, David.
Okay, Jason Kersey.
Hey, David, this may be kind of a weird question, but we've noticed that you're always out there catching punts during the pregame. So I was just wondering, like, why are you out there doing that? Are you like the emergency if Marvin goes down or something?
I want to say I'm the emergency, but in the position I play on kickoff return as the left end, teams tend to pooch or try to get a sneak, little sky kick over there. So they just have me out there just like getting familiar with catching those balls in case it ever does happen in the game.
Have you ever returned punts before or kickoffs?
Well, junior high and high school, I did a little bit of everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, David.
Yes, sir.
John Hoover.
Hey, David, wondering about this freshman class. Seems like we're seeing more and more of those guys every week. From your perspective, how good are these guys when they came in as freshmen, and who kind of jumps out to you freshman-wise in this class as maybe someone who's going to have a kind of a fruitful career here?
Yeah, really all the freshmen stood out. Like all our DBs, they're huge. Like they all look like you could really toss them on any other position out there on defense. But a couple freshmen that definitely stood out as soon as they got in was someone in my linebacker group, Shane Witter. That dude's explosively fast, and as you can see, he made that fourth down stop during the game, and that just proves to his ability to play sideline to sideline. We also got Brandon Walker at the rush position. He also had him a sack out there. That's gonna be the first of many. That guy's a hard worker, and you can tell that like no moment is too big for these guys, and I like to see that in them.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kerry Murdoch.
David, how much have you noticed a change just in the younger guys, whether it's practice habits or whatever, that they've gotten so involved in games, and not only gotten involved but had success as well?
Oh yeah, I've seen a big change, because as most people or as some, like when you come in college, you're not as a freshman year, you're not expected to see the field, you're not expected to get reps with the ones at practice, and once all these guys' names was called, they stood up to the challenge, and I think they faced it perfectly well.
Thanks, Dave.
Sure.
Okay, James Hale.
David, I hope things are going well. David, this is you're one of the biggest moves, moving from the rush to inside backer. For the key for the success of the defense. The coaches talked about it. This is a move they wanted to do. How do you feel like it's going? Do you feel comfortable? Are you a true Mike backer now in your mind, or do you still get that itch to want to go back out and rush on the edge?
I gotta say, the first couple of games, I had that itch to get back out there because obviously the coach has seen a lot more in myself than I seen in myself. So I was just like, at some points it got frustrating. Like, I don't even know exactly what I'm doing. Like, why do they still want me here so bad? But now I definitely settled down into the role and I'm comfortable with it. And like, I wouldn't want to be moved back. I like being in the middle of the field, being the field general. So.
Thanks, David.
Okay, Parker Thune.
Yeah, David, just curious. It seems like ever since the Texas game, seems like that getting that win in 4 overtimes really lit a fire under you guys. Do you feel that? You feel that you guys have been able to build some momentum since that game?
Oh, most definitely, yes. From everything from, as you can see, how well our defense has been playing in the games to just practice ever since that game. Like, we approach practice with a whole different mindset. We got guys flying around from the start to the finish. It's not ever really up and down, and like it's just a great vibe now at practice. Like the defense has really found their personality, and I like that.
What do you think it was about that game that helped you guys turn the corner?
Just all the adversity we faced and how we responded to it. Like it just proved to us that in the face of adversity, all we got to do is rise up and stick together as a team, and we'll be able to make it through it.
Okay, back to Kerry.
David, we were all worried about Coach Grinch, last year, especially without the turnovers. Is he doing okay now that you guys are getting turnovers? Is he a different guy?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that he has changed his approach to it or lightened up on it at all. Like turnovers is still a huge emphasis, but yeah, he's definitely acknowledging us and giving us recognition for what we've been doing the past couple of days. Games, I mean.
For you guys, I mean, that had to be frustrating knowing how frustrated he was and that it just wasn't coming. Do you feel like they're coming maybe even more now because you guys aren't so concerned with that? Like it seemed like it used to just overwhelm this program that the turnovers weren't coming.
I wouldn't say that's the case. I think that we just are settling in, like doing our job, and with doing your own job and focusing on yourself and focusing on your role in the defense and everything. Going out there, every drives, then turnovers will come to you. I wouldn't say that we slowed down our approach or taking less of a focus on it. The focus on the turnovers is still there 100%.
Appreciate it.
Sir.
John Hoover.
David, I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit on what you said earlier about Brendan and Shane. Those guys, when maybe you saw, I don't know if it was preseason or before that even, did you see something special in them? Was there a specific instance where somebody did something in practice and you said that kid's going to be a player?
It was both of them. Just watching them every day in fall camp leading up to the season. I seen the mentality that they had, and I seen, like I said before, like with them taking reps with the ones during at times during fall camp, like the moment wasn't ever too big for them. Like going against the one offense, the moment wasn't ever too big for them. I seen how they flew around. I see how like just little things that maybe some other first year guys are a little more tentative about or like shy about. Like nah, they don't shy away from everything. Like they're hunting up contact, they're hunting up to make the big plays, and that's what really like stood out to me to say that yeah, these guys are going to be it for this program.
Did it remind you of yourself last year?
Yeah, in a lot of ways it did. In a lot of ways it didn't. Like I saw some stuff like, dang, I wish I would have came in my first year having this approach. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and back to James Hale.
David, you guys get an off week this weekend, but it's so different now because of COVID. You can't go home, can't really go out. There's no big parties planned or anything like that. Talk about the discipline you have to have and how difficult is it to maintain that discipline, when you don't have to be at practice of the next few days.
It takes a great deal of discipline, but I don't think it's difficult for us to uphold that discipline because we've taken 2 losses on this year. We can't afford another one. So everybody's on the same page. We got to get at work and got to stay at work. That's about it.